What if I told you that the secret to winning isn't just about hard work, but about understanding the science behind it? Success is often seen as a simple equation of effort and talent. But there's a scientific basis to winning and losing. In The Winner Effect, Ian Robertson reveals how neurochemical changes influence success. This isn't about empty self-help platitudes, it's about understanding the mechanisms of success and using that knowledge to your advantage. Join me, and let's explore the science of winning together. What happens within us when we experience a win? It's not merely an emotional experience. Victory triggers a cascade of neurochemical events. Dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, plays a key role. Achieving a goal releases dopamine, creating pleasure and reward. This feeling reinforces behaviors leading to success. Repeated victories lead to lasting brain changes. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Victory breeds further victory, creating a positive cycle. Consider the experience of losing. Losing triggers a cascade of stress hormones like cortisol. Chronically elevated cortisol can harm our well-being. This manifests as anxiety, decreased motivation, and impaired cognitive function. Losing can create a vicious cycle, making future losses more likely. Understanding these mechanisms helps us develop strategies to mitigate losing's effects. We can harness neuroplasticity to rewire our brains for success. Now you might be thinking, are winners simply born that way? Is there some genetic predisposition that separates those destined for victory from those fated to lose? But this is a dangerous oversimplification. Our genes do not dictate our destiny. Our environment, experiences, and choices matter. We mold and shape our potential. We are architects of our own destinies. This understanding is empowering. That being said, certain genetic variations can influence our predisposition towards specific traits and characteristics, often associated with success. For instance, variations in the dopamine receptor gene, DRD4, have been linked to traits like novelty-seeking, risk-taking, and persistence, all qualities that, when channeled effectively, can contribute to achievement in various domains. However, it's crucial to remember that these genetic variations are not deterministic. They merely represent a slight nudge in a particular direction, a subtle influence on our tendencies and inclinations. The presence or absence of a specific gene variant does not guarantee success or failure. It's about understanding how our genetic predispositions might influence our behavior and making conscious choices to leverage those predispositions to our advantage. For instance, if you possess a genetic variation associated with risk-taking, you might be naturally drawn to entrepreneurial endeavors or other pursuits that involve a degree of uncertainty. Recognizing this predisposition allows you to approach such endeavors with both enthusiasm and caution, mitigating potential downsides while maximizing your innate strengths. Ultimately, it's about understanding that genetics is not destiny, but rather a starting point, a foundation upon which we can build our own unique paths to success. We often talk about the feeling of victory, the rush of success. It's a chemical symphony conducted by our endocrine system. Testosterone and cortisol take center stage. Testosterone drives ambition and the will to compete. Cortisol, the stress hormone, prepares us for action. The key lies in their balance, shaping our behavior and outcomes. Now, how do we master this hormonal cascade, this intricate dance between testosterone and cortisol? The answer lies in how we perceive challenges. Reframe competition as growth, and cortisol sharpens our focus. Regular physical activity regulates hormones. Mindfulness reduces cortisol and cultivates focus. Now let's delve into the fascinating realm of the mind-body connection, where our thoughts and beliefs influence our physiology and outcomes. The placebo effect is a scientifically validated phenomenon, highlighting the mind's capacity to shape our experience of reality. A placebo, an inert substance, can produce measurable improvements. How? Through the power of expectation and neurochemical release. These changes are real, measurable, and can manifest in various ways. Beliefs can heal, but they can also harm. This is the nocebo effect, the dark twin of the placebo effect, where negative expectations worsen symptoms. Belief is a double-edged sword. It can heal and transform or lead to suffering and self-sabotage. Cultivate awareness, understand the influence of thoughts on biology, focus on positive expectations, and empower your mind and body to create your desired reality. We are social creatures, hardwired for connection, belonging, and yes, even status. We evolved in small tribes, where social hierarchies determined access to resources, mates, and ultimately, survival. While the modern world may seem vastly different from our ancestral past, the fundamental mechanisms of the social brain remain deeply ingrained within us. One of the primary misconceptions surrounding stress is that it's solely a consequence of external pressures, of deadlines, financial woes, or relationship problems. While these external factors certainly play a role, we must also recognize the significant impact of our social environment, particularly our perceived status within that environment, on our stress levels and overall well-being. Studies have shown that individuals occupying lower rungs of the social ladder tend to experience higher levels of chronic stress, characterized by elevated cortisol and increased risk of various health problems. This is not merely a matter of material resources, but rather a reflection of our deep-seated need for belonging, respect, and a sense of significance within our social groups. When we feel undervalued, overlooked, or excluded, our brains interpret this social pain as a threat, triggering the same physiological stress response as a physical threat. How do we navigate this complex social landscape and cultivate a sense of belonging? Recognize that status is not a zero-sum game. We don't have to tear others down to elevate ourselves. Focus on personal growth and contribute to something larger than ourselves. Derive worth from internal validation and a life of meaning. Cultivate strong social connections built on trust and empathy. Surround yourself with a supportive tribe. Practice self-compassion and treat yourself with kindness. The human brain is wired for reward. From basic drives for food and procreation to social status and intellectual pursuit, our brains seek that dopaminergic hit. Winning triggers this reward circuitry. But like any drug, the more we indulge, the more we crave. The brain becomes accustomed to the easy dopamine rush, making it harder to find satisfaction in the struggle. Winning, especially when hard-earned, can be a powerful motivator for growth. The key is to value the process as much as the outcome. How do we escape this dopamine trap, this cycle of seeking easy wins? Embrace responsibility, discipline, and delayed gratification. Be aware of your reward circuitry. Identify what triggers easy dopamine hits. Seek challenges that force growth. Embrace the struggle and find meaning in effort. Learn to delay gratification for long-term goals. Winning, particularly if achieved repeatedly, can cast a long and seductive shadow. This shadow, often manifesting as hubris or arrogance, can be intoxicating. History is replete with cautionary tales of individuals who tumbled from their achievements. Ambition and competitiveness can morph into destructive forces. The line between confidence and arrogance can blur. Success is not inherently corrupting. Many navigate it with grace and humility. Cultivating self-awareness and maintaining humility is key. Humility, often misconstrued as weakness, is in fact the bedrock of sustained success. It is the recognition that we are all works in progress, capable of both remarkable achievements and colossal blunders. Humility allows us to acknowledge our limitations, to learn from our mistakes, and to approach each new challenge with a beginner's mind. Remember, the true measure of a person is not how high they climb, but how they treat others on the way up. We are born into this world not as winners or losers, but as students. Life is the ultimate proving ground, a crucible in which our character is forged. Every experience holds the seeds of growth and self-improvement. Winning is about learning from failure. Embrace setbacks as opportunities for growth and resilience. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall, rise, and try again. This process applies to any skill or endeavor. Embrace your failures and extract valuable lessons. True mastery is forged in the crucible of experience. The path to success is a winding road littered with obstacles. Now, while experience is an invaluable teacher, it is not enough to simply wait for life to throw challenges our way. To truly master any skill, any domain, requires deliberate practice, a focused and sustained effort to hone our abilities, to push beyond our perceived limitations. Think of the concert pianist, the Olympic athlete, the master craftsman. Their extraordinary abilities are not the result of chance or innate talent alone, but rather the culmination of countless hours of dedicated practice, of pushing their bodies and minds to the very edge of their capabilities. This is not to say that we must all aspire to be world-class performers. The principle of deliberate practice applies to any pursuit, any skill we wish to develop, whether it be writing, coding, painting, or simply becoming more effective in our interpersonal relationships. The key is to approach practice not as a chore, but as an opportunity for growth, for pushing beyond our comfort zones, and for experiencing the deep satisfaction that comes from witnessing our own progress. Remember, the more we sweat in practice, the less we bleed in battle. The journey to mastery is a marathon, not a sprint, and it is through consistent, dedicated effort that we ultimately reach our destination. Now let's delve into the intricate neuroscience of leadership and power, exploring how these dynamics play out within the neural networks of our brains. We often think of leadership as a purely social construct, but the reality is far more profound. It's deeply intertwined with our biology, rooted in the very essence of our being. Consider the concept of dominance hierarchies, a fundamental aspect of social organization observed across numerous species, including our own. These hierarchies aren't merely arbitrary arrangements. They're profoundly influenced by intricate neurobiological processes that shape behavior and influence social dynamics. When individuals ascend to positions of leadership or authority, their brains undergo fascinating transformations. Studies have shown that leadership roles can lead to increased activity in areas of the brain associated with decision-making, social cognition, and emotional regulation, reflecting the complex demands placed upon those who lead. Moreover, the experience of power itself can have profound effects on the brain. Research suggests that wielding power can alter neural pathways associated with empathy and perspective-taking, underscoring the importance of humility and self-awareness for those in positions of influence. Now, some might misinterpret these findings to suggest that power is inherently corrupting, leading to a decline in empathy and moral compass. However, it's crucial to remember that the brain is incredibly plastic, capable of remarkable adaptation and change. The neural changes associated with power can manifest in both positive and negative ways, depending on the individual and the context. True leaders, those who wield power responsibly and ethically, leverage these neural adaptations to enhance their capacity for empathy, not diminish it. They recognize that leadership is not about dominance or control, but about service, guidance, and empowering others to reach their full potential. This requires cultivating a sense of humility, recognizing that leadership is not about personal gain but about responsibility, a concept deeply embedded in our evolutionary history. Leaders who prioritize the well-being of their followers, who act with integrity and fairness, are more likely to foster trust, loyalty, and cooperation, creating a virtuous cycle of positive social dynamics. In essence, understanding the neuroscience of leadership is not about manipulating others or exploiting power, but about harnessing our innate biological capacities to create a more just, compassionate, and fulfilling world for ourselves and future generations. Now let's synthesize our understanding of the winner effect into practical strategies for cultivating a winning mindset. A mindset that empowers you to navigate the challenges of life with resilience, determination, and a commitment to personal growth. One of the most fundamental aspects of this mindset is embracing a growth-oriented perspective. This means viewing challenges not as insurmountable obstacles but as opportunities for learning, adaptation, and self-improvement. Recall the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself in response to experience. Each challenge you encounter, each setback you face, presents a chance to forge new neural pathways, to strengthen your resilience and expand your capacity for success. This growth-oriented perspective is crucial for maintaining motivation and perseverance in the face of adversity, fostering a belief in your ability to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. Moreover, embracing a growth mindset allows you to reframe failure, not as a reflection of your inherent worth, but as a valuable feedback mechanism, providing insights and lessons that propel you forward on your journey. It's about recognizing that setbacks are an inevitable part of growth, and that true success lies not in the absence of failure, but in our ability to learn from it, adapt, and emerge stronger and wiser. Cultivating courage is essential. It's the willingness to act in the face of fear, to step outside your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. Each act of courage strengthens our resilience. Gratitude involves appreciating the good in our lives, focusing on the positive. This shift can transform our motivation and relationships. As we conclude our exploration of the winner effect, Remember that the journey toward unlocking your full potential is an ongoing process, a lifelong commitment to growth, resilience, and self-improvement. Embrace the challenges that life throws your way, for they are the crucibles in which your character is forged and your spirit is tempered. Cultivate a winning mindset rooted in growth, courage, and gratitude, and watch as you begin to navigate the complexities of life with greater confidence, purpose, and fulfillment. The strategies we've discussed are not mere platitudes, but evidence-based principles grounded in the latest scientific understanding of human behavior, motivation, and the brain's remarkable capacity for change. Now, it's time to put these principles into action. Don't just consume this information, embody it. Integrate these strategies into your daily life, and witness the transformative power of the winner effect firsthand. Remember, the potential for greatness lies dormant within each and every one of us, waiting to be ignited by our choices, our actions, and our unwavering commitment to becoming the best versions of ourselves. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more insightful videos like this. Join us on the journey to harnessing your winner effect.